struggling to make ends meet. This is what life is like for the Afghans left behind.
2 weeks ago, the market was good, but now people's money is stuck in the banks.
With just a handful of banks open, the value of the Afghani has dropped, while the cost of living has risen.
People are risking their lives to get their money as the Taliban sometimes open fire.
The Afghan economy is heavily dependent on international aid. The World Bank and IMF have paused support, and the US has frozen reserves until the Taliban reveals the makeup of its government.
The first thing we want to see is them live up to the obligations that they have under the UN Charter.
Holding meetings with senior political figures, the Taliban is looking ahead, while the West looks back at its intelligence, which failed to predict Kabul would fall so quickly.
The central assessment remained until late that the deterioration would be incremental.
Security analysts say it wasn't a matter of when the Taliban would take over, but how it would be handled.
What was the policy settings around those intelligence briefings that policymakers could have done in order to mitigate the worst of the effects of the withdrawal?
The US is juggling efforts to evacuate hundreds of Americans and the emerging threat of the ISK terrorist group, both of which will require Taliban cooperation.
Using a significant source of human intelligence that's quite important for the United States and allies like Australia.
Any possibility of coordination against ISIS-K with them?
It's possible.
However, one thing is clear.
America's longest war has come to a close.
The Taliban seem close to naming a supreme leader and mapping out their new government. But this political limbo only creates more uncertainty for everyday Afghans who are already battling a currency crisis, severe drought and food shortages. Tom Joyner, ABC News.